Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zeng. Today I'd like to continue to talk about some new developments in the chained woman case in China, as there is nothing more important than this case right now. I will also comment briefly on how I think this event could develop, and then I will make brief comments on the Beijing Olympics. At the end of the show, I will play the English subtitled version of the song The World Has Abandoned Me, which is dedicated to the chained woman and mother of 8 we talked about a lot. The Chinese version of this song has already gone viral on the internet. The English subtitles were translated by me, so I got the permission to premiere the English version. The creator of the song is a very talented friend of mine. The most worrying thing about the chained woman is her safety and whereabouts. According to Proud Girls, the group that first disclosed the chained woman's information to me. According to what they know, although the chained woman is said to be detained in the mental hospital in Feng County, nobody actually knows where she is now. This is what I've been worried about since the beginning. The existence of the chained woman is an embarrassment to Dong Zhiming, the man who locked her up, to the village and town officials who participated in raping her, to Xuzhou City, to Jiangsu Province, and finally to Xi Jinping and the CCP itself. If they admit the existence of the chained woman and what she had been going through all these years, the whole system that caused her suffering may have to be overturned. Can the CCP, a system that is rotten from top to bottom, afford to have such a reality be fully exposed? Obviously not. According to the investigation of Proud Girls, the adoption route of the chained woman was like this: from Nanchong City, where she disappeared, to Chongqing, where she had changed hands, to Guiyang, which is a huge market for adopted women, then through Changsha, Zhengzhou, and Tongshan County in Xuzhou, and finally to Dongji Village, Feng County. In the process of being sold, I wonder what additional kind of abuse she had to suffer. In addition, today someone posted information from the 2010 Feng County census. This document shows that Dong Zhiming was born on May 3rd, 1966, and his married status is actually unmarried. Meanwhile, Feng County did not have anyone whose ethnicity is Li Su in 2010. The official notice from Feng County said that the chained woman is Xiaohua Mei. She was from Yagu village in Yunnan province, where the Li Su people live. So again, the official announcements or information on this matter just don't end up anywhere. According to Proud Girls, the so-called Jiangsu investigation team has so far done the following 8 things since it was established on February 17th. 1. They interviewed dozens of people because of the leaked marriage certificate of Dong Zhiming and warned them to be ready for the next talk. 2. They set up a team to gather information on all the vehicles that had been to Huankou town, where the chained woman's village belongs. 3. They set up a team to analyze every person entering and leaving Huankou town through gait recognition, facial recognition, and other technical means. 4. They held meetings in all districts and counties, as well as colleges and universities, and prohibited all discussions on public platforms or any leaking of information. Anyone who don't obey will be dismissed from work and held responsible. 5. They ordered the districts and counties to talk to all families that have bought abducted women so that no more videos, pictures, audio files about woman trafficking were being leaked. 6. They set up a task force that is composed of the Internet Police, the Propaganda Department, and this task force shall work with the Cyberspace Administration Office, media, Internet influencer, and self-media personnel to guide the narrative of this matter and to divert the public's attention. 7. They ordered all the involved departments and individuals to work out a more reasonable explanation to the irregularities of the issuing of their marriage certificate, poverty, how they could have so many children, etc. 8. They ordered strict control on information involving Dong Zhiming, Feng County, and other sensitive information, no more leaks of information. So these are consistent with other messages we have seen on the internet. For example, the Feng County has now really become a closed county or a blocked county, and the whole Dongji village has been blocked by an iron wall that is over a dozen kilometers long in the name of pandemic control. And there are people guarding the entrance of the village. When the TV crew from Hunan television went to Dongji village, they tried to enter from the south, north, and the east side of this village, but were blocked from entering it. In addition, major universities have been given a gag order not to talk about this matter anymore. Books related to human trafficking in China were also suddenly taken off the shelves of online shopping platforms, and netizens who posted photos to show their solidarity were asked to remove the photos, and so on. I suspect that the so-called investigation team is now nervously weighing how to write this investigation report, what kind of people to throw out to calm down the public, and then how to quickly settle and suppress the matter so that the negative impact will not continue to grow, and then hope that after the public's enthusiasm is exhausted, people can return to the days when everything was peaceful and wonderful. So will the officials' plan have the effect they want? I think it really depends on how the public and the public opinion side, which is confronting the officials, will behave next. Over the years, various civil rights activities, including some larger so-called mass incidents, have always ended up in a victory for the government. Will this time be different? So far, I have observed the following differences. First, of course, is the public attention is unprecedentedly huge and unprecedentedly long. These are the figures from a few days ago. So the total number of readings on the Olympic darling Eileen Gu was 1.03 billion. But the number of readings on the chained woman topic in the same period was 3.79 billion, almost 4 times that of Eileen Gu. Please note that 488 official media outlets were involved in reporting on Eileen Gu, while only 18 media outlets reported on the chained woman. But 56,000 people created original content about the chained woman, while only 27,000 people created original content about Eileen Gu. So this further shows that attention about the chained woman all comes from the public. Secondly, this is the Secondly, it is the wide spread of social attention. This time, it seems that the whole society has been touched on many levels. For example, this little girl is only a few years old. The banner she holds says, "If we don't save the chained woman, I'm afraid that I will also become like her." This is a photo of the former CCP secretary of Shenzhen City, Li Youwei. It was said that he had written a poem to support the chained mother of 8. There are such protesters who express their protest through performance art, and there are also painters and sculptors who express their concerns through their artwork. Also, there are musicians who either write new songs or rewrite old ones to express their support. I was also very impressed by the fact that even places like bookstores were taking action. For example, this bookstore in Xi'an City put the most famous and powerful sentence from the chained woman the world has abandoned me on its window. And this bookstore in Hangzhou City got a small display space with books you should read about Feng County, and even a chain and some cards for people to leave their comments. Both bookstores are said to have been given a talk by the CCP. I've also seen people in the financial sector launching a boycott of government bonds issued by Xuzhou City and Feng County, the general public boycotting any products from Xuzhou and Feng County. And this morning, I saw people receiving text messages on their phones from strangers spreading the truth about the chained woman. This means that a lot of people are really taking action. Of course, there are also people in the intellectual and legal communities who are taking action. I saw a post the other day that said that illegal detention, rape, kidnapping, assault, etc. are all felonies. But once all of them are committed in China, it becomes a minor crime of trafficking in women, and the buyer is only sentenced to less than 3 years in prison. Once an adopted woman filed a divorce case in court, but the judge ruled against her, saying that their marriage was legal. The latest news is that on the eve of the upcoming annual 2 sessions of the CCP, Zhu Zhengfu, a member of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, said that he has written relative materials asking for proposals to severely combat the crime of women and children trafficking. The materials have been submitted to the relevant government departments in Beijing and will also be submitted as a proposal at the 2 sessions. So how will this matter develop? I think it still depends on how the battle between the CCP and the public will go. The CCP has the power of the state machinery, but they have fewer people than the general public. The deciding factors will be the will, determination, and the power of action of the public. Why were so many people moved into action this time? Just as I shared my personal story of meeting a woman 6 months pregnant who had just escaped, many people have similar stories to tell. They either know someone who had friends or relatives who had gone missing or heard about similar cases somewhere. Several people even left comments below my tweets saying that they almost got kidnapped or adopted when they were young. In fact, the CCP has persecuted various groups for so many years, and the list is endless. But at that time, many people could still live in peace because, on the one hand, the CCP has taken public opinion smear attacks on the persecuted group. They call Falun Gong an evil cult, Tibetans, Uyghurs, and Hong Kong people independence elements or separatists. So these people deserve suppression. On the other hand, those people are a very small minority. As long as I'm not a Falun Gong practitioner, I'm not a Tibetan, a Uyghur, or a Hong Konger, those things have nothing to do with me and I have nothing to worry about. However, the chained woman is different. For one thing, she was abducted and sold when she was only 12 years old. Nobody can find any fault with her. And another reason is that everyone in society can become a chained woman after someone gives you a strike at the back of your head. Therefore, in this incident, everyone's safety is at stake. If the CCP can still cover up the truth as it did in the past, kill and silence the people involved, and then let the same crimes continue to happen, then there is really no hope for this country and nation. So that's why I'm paying close attention to the development of this matter to see how it will end. Sometimes people may ask, why doesn't heaven come to save us? In fact, the first question we should ask is, are we still worthy of heaven's salvation? Next, I'd like to briefly talk about the Beijing Winter Olympics that just ended. Actually, there's not much to talk about. Truth be told, I didn't watch a second of the Winter Olympics. I don't know what kind of perception the officially created propaganda of the Winter Olympics will leave for the people inside China's Great Firewall. But overseas, if we look at this Olympic in comparison to the 2008 Olympics, we will see the decline of the CCP clearly. In 2008, all the overseas dissident groups launched a worldwide human rights torch relay similar to the route of the Olympic torch relay to protest against the CCP's human rights record. The so-called Western powers, including the United States, all showed up at the opening ceremony, and the CCP's overseas little pinkies were rampant. In Canberra, the capital city of Australia, more than 10,000 Chinese students literally used the CCP bloody flags to turn Canberra into a so-called Red Sea. Some Chinese students even beat up local Australians with their flagpoles. But this year, the situation is very different. First of all, it is absolutely impossible for the CCP to incite that kind of red frenzy again overseas. And then there were only some 20 small heads of state whose names we hardly know that showed up to the opening ceremony. The only big figure is Russian President Putin. But what has Putin done in Beijing? He just took a nap at the opening ceremony and then left. He didn't even attend Xi Jinping's grand banquet, but he took away $80 billion worth of commercial deals and got the CCP to publicly express its support for Russia in the Russian-Ukraine conflict and side against the US and Europe. As a result, the CCP got themselves into such a big mess that the 7 standing committee members of the CCP's Politburo had to shut the door to quarrel over it during the Olympics and then came out to show goodwill to the United States. Then there was the fact that the Olympics, which cost Chinese people hundreds of billions, failed to attract public attention because of the chained woman incident. This year, the CCP will hold its 20th National Congress, which will have a significant impact on the ruling of the CCP. But a huge black swan has flown out just after the new year, signaling that this year is destined to be a year full of uncertainties for the CCP. How will these uncertainties end for the CCP? I don't think anybody is expecting that the CCP can change for the better. So it's only a matter of how much longer it can hold on to its power and what will become the last straw that crushes the camel. Well, that's all for today. Now let me play the moving song The World Has Abandoned Me with English subtitles. I hope you will help promote and spread it. The separate music video of this song was already released on my main channel, and I will put a link to that channel down below this video so that you can easily watch it separately and spread it around. It's really touching. If you find my program valuable, please also help me by subscribing to it, sharing my videos, leaving a comment, and pressing the like button. Now let me share this music video.
我们都好沉在一个国度，一个挂着金牌，一个被铁链锁住。你在鲜花铺就的路途，我在绝望的深渊里求助。这是谁的讽刺，谁的荒芜？他们都对你趋之若鹜，剪掉我的舌头和牙齿，不让我哭。其实我也想为你欢呼，也想原谅世界的辜负。岁月静好的底牌是残酷，这世界就这样不要我了吗？你的摧残埋葬多少无辜？原谅我的人生不能让你感触，盛世下的蝼蚁不需要温度，这世界就这样不要我了吗？生于贫瘠，我罪无可恕，眼泪有多苦，笑容多孤独，盛世下的蝼蚁，请让我落幕。趋之若鹜，剪掉我的舌头和牙齿，不让我哭。 其实我也想为你欢呼，也想原谅世界的辜负。岁月静好的底牌是残酷，这世界就这样不要我了吗？你的摧残埋葬多少无辜？原谅我的人生，不能让你感触盛世下的蝼蚁，不需要温度。这世界就这样不要我了吗？生于贫瘠，我罪无可恕。眼泪有多苦，笑容多孤独。盛世下的蝼蚁，请让我落幕。
Well, really moving, isn't it? I hope you like it and spread it. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.